Welcome to the Grow Your Practice podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Chad Madden, owner of Madden Physical Therapy and Breakthrough. Join me each week as we dive into the best practices, systems, principles, tips, and tricks to help you grow your private practice.
Everybody, Chad Madden here with the Grow Your Practice podcast. And today we're talking with a private practice owner and her daughter, Lauren and Cheryl Abelow. They own FlexPlus Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Welcome to the podcast here, Cheryl and Lauren.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Great. So, Cheryl, we'll start with you. How did you I know PT is a second career for you. How did you become a physical therapist and ultimately end up in private practice?
You're right. It was my second career. I was in the business, the computer industry, actually, when I had my children, and I decided that I really didn't like it. I couldn't go back to that industry. And I really had thought long and hard about what I wanted to do. As a young teen, I had really wanted to do something in the healthcare industry. And I knew that when I was in college, I really wasn't there to study as much as I should have. I really needed to just hang out with my friends, and getting a B+ was okay. But I knew that I needed to do something for the rest of my life. So I decided, let's just join a gym and figure out, while I exercise every day, what I wanted to do. Someone told me I should start to teach the classes because I had a way with people and I was good at just following the exercises and understanding why you did certain exercises for strengthening and stretching. So I figured if I stood at the front of the class and they paid me for healthy people, that if I could teach people who were injured how to get healthy again, they would pay me even more money and I would have a longer career. So that's how I came to be a PT. I knew that I could not get into med school only because, again, I had 3 small children. My husband traveled a lot. I needed to be able to be home. So, PT was it. That's how I came to be a PT.
Great. So when you graduated, how long were you a physical therapist working for somebody else before you decided to open up your own practice?
I was working for some of the local hospitals, both inpatient and outpatient, for about 3 years when I decided I really didn't want to work for someone else anymore. So over those next 2 years, to make a total of 5 years, working for someone else, during those last 2 years, I kept saving my money, slowly buying pieces of equipment, because I knew that having my own clinic, I could do things the way I wanted to do them. I didn't have to ask some permission if I wanted to take a vacation day or, anything like that. And I just felt much more comfortable and thinking this was a better way for me to be able to eventually work my way towards retirement. And once I retired, I could still own the business and draw a salary while other people continued to work for me. So 5 years.
Great. And what year did you open up? What year did you go into private practice?
We went into private practice in 2005.
Nice. So you're 16, almost 17 years in?
18.
Right. 18. Oh, yeah.
18 years.
My math is
18,
off.
almost
Yeah,
19. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Very cool. And so, Lauren, how did you come into the mix here?
Well, 2005 was my freshman year in college. And so I would come home on breaks and summers and just looking for a couple of extra bucks. And I actually enjoyed. I started at the bottom. I was like scanning the paper files and literally sitting in front of a shredder, shredding things. And as I was doing that, I kind of found some errors with EOB entries and stuff like that, and became very proficient in finding lost money from the insurance companies. And when I graduated college in 2009, it was the middle of the recession, and I went to school to be a teacher. And I couldn't find a job. So I came back here and I started learning all the insurance side of things. I did leave and teach for a while, and I love the kids, hated being a teacher. And came back to the business and continued to work my way up and learn new skills and grow the business. I went back, I got my MBA in healthcare administration a couple of years ago. And now Cheryl and I run the business together.
Nice. And what's your role today, Lauren?
I'm the business manager. So I do the marketing and finances and hiring and ordering and overseeing the front office and making sure we get paid and benefits. And if it doesn't have to do with treating patients, probably falls under me.
Great. And just to reference where you're at in the world, your practice is in Massachusetts, correct?
Yep,
Right
about
outside of Boston.
12 miles outside of Boston.
Nice. Great. So what are, Cheryl, you had talked about when, deciding to become a physical therapist and being up in front of the room as it sounds like a personal trainer or a group fitness trainer, and then deciding to become a PT, a better career with maybe a nicer nest egg at the end of the yellow brick road. How's that working out? What changes have you seen in the last 18, 19 years? Because a lot has changed. Just wondering how that lived up to your expectations, the journey so far.
It's pretty close. I won't say it's 100% because the industry has changed so much. We've seen things from really, I guess I could say lightweight documentation, where I can remember we would write in an assessment, tolerated well, and then move on to the next patient, and still get paid. Now you're writing an entire novel every time you see a patient. So so that takes up a whole lot more time. Sometimes a little bit frustrating because you want to be able to treat the patient so much more than writing the novella there. But so there's that. The other thing too, harder and harder to find physical therapists. We all know that across the country, there's a drought of DPTs across the country. I'm just, I think that on a more positive note, that patients are so much smarter than they were even 20 years ago. They understand. In Massachusetts, I don't know about other states, but in Massachusetts, people can have direct access. They don't have to go to their primary care or their orthopedist. They can come directly to us for care. That's huge. And they come in with a sense of, this is what I'm feeling. I think maybe I've got this going on. Can you help me? So that kind of makes treating someone, for the most part, a little bit easier. They know what they want to get to. They know what their goals are, and they want to get there. And for the most part, people work really hard. The other thing that's not so great is that, of course, reimbursements are always changing, and they don't really go up that much. And of course, Medicare tends to go down, and so we have all of those kinds of challenges. But you find a way to do it, because the people that you treat are counting on you. And the majority are just lovely, lovely people who just want to get better. So I've never regretted becoming a PT or opening my own clinic. I don't know. I still have about 6 more years before I retire. So yeah, I'm hoping that things will continue to progress, and that I'll be able to just step away from hands-on and daily work and just still own the clinic, so that I can at least draw a salary for a while.
Yeah, got it. Just to sum up some of the things that I heard you say there: documentation. So we're doing more work. Reimbursements are staying the same, or if we're looking at Medicare for the last 15 years, 14% decrease over the last 15 years is what it comes out to. Hard to find PTs. Just a quick share here. This is a litmus test for me. We just, within the last week, first DPT salary request ever over six figures, 100K plus. Have you ever had that before? This is my first one.
No.
Yes, we did
No.
have one. Yes. And we were like, she was coming off of being a traveler, and she wanted a traveler salary. And we're like, it's just out of our range.
Yeah. That's how I left it. I said, I can't compete. Like there's no financial model that this makes sense in. And you seem like a great person, but this isn't going to work at this time. The other thing that you brought up, Cheryl, is direct access. Way more accepted today. And, for me, thinking back 15, 20 years ago, a lot of patients, there was this idea of like, I'm just going to do whatever my doctor tells me to do. That's not really the case anymore, where we have so much more research, so much more information out there. The patient is coming in way more educated, and they're more likely to follow through on their plan. They're a better advocate for themselves. I know part of that is marketing and education. You've embraced fairly well, marketing direct to the consumer. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing there, how you think about that for your community, but how you reach out to your patient list, to cold traffic with partners, anything and everything across the board in terms of getting your message out there?
So we use the principles that we learned at Breakthrough, of course. We did killer marketing back in like 2016 or 2017. And we had always known that direct access and marketing direct to consumer was the way to go. We had a big doctor group that referred to us, and then one of the doctors moved, and referrals dropped significantly. And we're like, we can't do that again. We can't rely on doctors to send us their patients. So we found killer marketing. We went through the course, and we have been doing workshops ever since. We do rely a lot on our warm list. We don't do as much to cold lists. I do the workshops, goodwill emails, Facebook. I do some advertising on Facebook, but mostly I just go with organic growth and organic views on Facebook and Instagram and Google My Business. I use Google My Business all the time. We solicit reviews from our patients. Our EMR does it for us, which makes it really nice. And switching to prompt, we've gotten, I think, an additional 120-ish in the last 13 months, pretty much all 5-star. And so that all drives our organic SEO. This week, Thursday, we have a laser open house coming up. So that's going to be pretty cool. I don't think we've ever done a laser open house before, but it was there on Breakthrough, and we said, hey, that sounds like a good plan. So we're going to see how that goes. And being able to text with our patients has been pretty neat for the marketing stuff. The Thanksgiving text that went out, and then our Happy Holidays, Season's Greetings text that went out last week has garnered a lot of responses as well.
Very cool. Just to reference for everybody, Lauren, you mentioned killer marketing. So that was the first course we ever taught here at Breakthrough. It was really a direct access marketing course that we taught principles of marketing that I had learned outside of private practice PT, because we weren't used to marketing direct to the consumer. We basically said, there's I think we taught 3 target markets. You have your past and present patients, you have physician or professional referrals, and then you have cold traffic. The lowest hanging fruit is your past and present patients. And it sounds like you've really taken that by the reins, and you're doing that well. So you're communicating via email, like you just mentioned, the laser open house promotion, and you're promoting to your past patient list, keeping them warm, and then they're coming in via reactivation or friends and family word of mouth referrals as well. So well done there. Cold traffic is always more expensive, harder to do. It's a heavier lift, and it sounds like you have some efforts in there as well. I want to switch gears and talk about the hard to find PTs, because I know when we were in Denver together, we used I think we used ChatGPT to write an ad, if I remember correctly. And so we built a scorecard. Were you looking for, was it a part-time PTA, or were you looking for a PT? I forget the position.
We were looking for a DPT and a part-time pelvic health physical therapist.
Got it. So we started with, and I'll ask for an update here, but we started with like naming that ideal person, and we built a scorecard. For the listeners here, you can go to the book Who, which I mentioned quite a bit, by Randy Street and Jeff Smart, and they have how to build a scorecard in there, but it's basically a list of the competencies, the role, the purpose of the role, the metrics that you're going to use to measure success, and accountabilities as well. Core values is in the scorecard. You do that first, and then the next step in the process is building the ad based off of what the scorecard says. So I think we ended up doing the scorecard. Did we create an ad for you, or was that Chris Gordos? Am I confusing the two of you? Did we help you write an ad?
No, we got the ad.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so how's it going? Are you getting any traction at all? Is anybody coming through? Any interviews? Any applications?
No traction on the DPT. However, that's very possible that the traveler just left will come back as a full-time DPT. So I kind of took a step back as well. I have a student coming in about 2 weeks to help take up some of the slack. So I just kind of put that on the back burner. However, good news, we use that same method to write the ad for a women's pelvic health physical therapist for part-time. And yay, we hired her yesterday.
Good for you. High five.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. So, and you followed the same process. You built the scorecard, wrote the ad, exactly what you were looking for. You found that person, and now you've hired them.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Very cool. I know you're in any implementation call that we have, you're very active, you're very engaged. Is there anything else that, any like major cognitions, pivots in your thinking, transitions that you've had in your private practice journey that are worth sharing here, Lauren or Cheryl? Anything that stands out?
I have to say that everything that Breakthrough has suggested that we do, from way back in killer marketing and doing the workshops, all the way through the writing the ads for people and the scorecards, everything we have said, let's give it a try. We're going to do it. It worked for other people. Chad says this is working. We're going to try it. And we have been incredibly successful. What we have found is that when we have become so busy and we don't have enough staff, that falls by the wayside. And then, of course, you're playing catch up again. And that's our own fault. So that has been an important lesson that we've learned, that you must keep up with it all the time.
Yeah, great point there. I don't think I've ever shared this before, but the practices I cheat, and here's how I here's how I get to cheat. So when an owner has a problem or a question like the direct access, I can share what is working right now, because we have access to literally hundreds of practices, and we get to hear that, right? So we've had Tony Sear on here. I was just on a call with him, and he was sharing how successful he was in renegotiating reimbursement rates, and you were on the call with Tony as well. So there, then I think about those as like best practices. So where do we have success within the private practice industry that we can tease out a process and then share that with other owners? Where are we winning that all the other owners are going to benefit from? So I'm in a little bit of a unique position where I get to see what's working, see what's not, and avoid the theory. What's crazy is when we first started teaching, I only taught from my experience. And now I think it's less than 10% of the material is like what I'm actually going through in private practice. But so we'll look at within the private practice industry, anytime that there's a problem, hiring, marketing, finance, how to renegotiate rates, whatever it is, we'll look for success first in private practice. And if we can't find it, then we go to outside the industry and other businesses and find success there, and then bring that process back into PT. But appreciate the acknowledgement there for you both. One final question, which is, what is the most impactful book that you read while you were growing up that influenced your life?
Oh, you asked the tough questions.
Really? I mean, we are big readers in our
Good.
family.
That's great.
I would have to say that Alexander and the Horrible, No Good, Very Bad, Terrible Day resonates with me quite deeply.
Nice.
Owning a business, sometimes it just feels like absolutely nothing is going your way. And that I wouldn't mind sometimes being sent off to Australia and just taking a break. But I don't know if I would say impactful. Certainly resonated with me, though.
Got it. So let's go favorite.
I was I was a big fan of all of the Harry Potter books growing up. I could read those over and over and over again, and I still do occasionally. The magic that just kind of transports you. It's a nice little break from reality.
Nice. Cheryl, looked like
There
you
was
were
one,
sharing.
yeah, there was one book, not while I was growing up, but when I first opened my practice. One of my very first patients came in and I guess he was very impressed. He was happy that he came to us, and he brought this book, and it was called um, How to Make Raving Fans. And I don't remember who wrote it. You know the book I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've absolutely read that. Yeah, I'm blanking on who it's by though too. But yeah,
Right. And I
I
can
did.
picture the book. But even though that wasn't growing up, it kind of, in a way, was growing up as I was raising my practice from its infancy to where it is now. So I guess you could kind of think that. But I thought that was a fabulous book, and it helped us through some tough times.
Wow, I should have went with my gut instinct. I thought it was Ken Blanchard, author of the 1 Minute Manager. That's who it is. It's yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure I had it at one point. I don't think I have. I think I gave it away. But yeah, great recommendation there. Lauren and Cheryl, FlexPlus PT, thank you so much for sharing your journey, your wisdom, your insights as well. Also a reality check for all of those of us in private practice PT. Thank you so much for doing this and sharing your time.
I've been to 3 breakthrough events, and the reason I keep coming is because it is so much information, and it helps me stay on task and what I need to get done, and how to incorporate my team into all the different marketing strategies.
The stuff works. All you have to do is follow their directions and implement it, and it's amazing the growth that you can see in your practice.
Anyone and everyone should attend a breakthrough event. There's so much information, there's so much energy. It kind of rejuvenates you, gets your energy back, gets you ready to get back to work on Monday.
The breakthrough staff, they're amazing people to work with. They're super fun, very outgoing, very knowledgeable, and everybody is here to help you. So trust in what they're saying, trust their system, trust their plan, trust their strategies, and you will definitely watch your business grow.
Hey everybody, Chad Madden here, and want to tell you about our upcoming event here in 2024. We're going back to the Implementation Bootcamp. This is where you're working live on your practice in a group filled with other practice owners. And this specifically is around mastering your profits. So it's a breakthrough boot camp, master your profits. It's February 8th through 10th in Orlando, Florida. You're going to be right there in Disney. If you want to, make it a family vacation on as well around the bookends, I'll be doing that. My family will be down the week before the event, but it's going to be awesome. Specifically because of what's happening in private practice right now. You already know the details. You're likely feeling this right now. Downward pressure on reimbursements, upward pressure on cost, creating a lot of problems for us. So what's in store for you? We're going to do, a macro overlook of everything that's going on, the state of PT, and everything that's in store for us in 2024. We're going to be walking through the profit leak audit. This was the transformative exercise that I went through that completely changed how we were looking at our profitability in my own private practice, and how other owners are doing that as well. We're going to go over the 4 profit levers in depth and how you can implement each one of those. And you're not just going to be hearing from me, you're also going to be hearing from other owners that are currently implementing this and are successful in their own private practices. Other owners from all over the country, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, Michigan, California, etc. In the past, I shared a lot of my numbers. I'll be bringing that back and share actual reports from my private practice. And I think we're going to get a few other owners to do the same. We're going to be going through patient conversion with people that are actively doing the patient conversion right now. Software training with Sarah Pierce, very much looking forward to that. Sarah's awesome. Workshop presenting, Mary DeLong, Bob Kowalik, Mark Callanan, John Logar. If you remember John Logar from Australia, the healthcare trends expert, will be coming back. I know Chris Redding has also been invited as well. So we're going to be, it's going to be jam-packed. We'll be doing live implementation sessions. So where you'll be learning and then you'll be implementing it right away into your practice. We're going to have mastermind sessions as well, and the roundtables with the breakouts, because they've been such a hit. If you haven't registered already, the day to get the your cheapest ticket, your least expensive ticket, is right now. Save the most money. Register. Once you register, you'll be getting details on the hotel as well. But so you get the link, the discount link for the hotel room as well. This is an event you will not want to miss, especially with everything that's happening in private practice PT. I'll see you there.